Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel and some more Blood and Plunder as we take a look at another one of the ships that is available for the game. So we've been working our way through the whole range here slowly but steadily, and today we're tackling one of the big boys. We've previously looked at the Galleon, still a work in progress, but we're going to show you guys here what you get in the Dutch, typically Dutch ship. And we're going to butcher the pronunciation on this, but Fluyt, I think, is something relatively close. We'll have to double check the pronunciation of that. Of course, if anybody knows, throw it in the comments. But this is one of the nicer, bigger ships, but still relatively affordable, so not quite as expensive as the Galleon. But you do get a whole lot of ship here, fair bit of guns as well, and in general, just a tough, a good, solid, tough ship that is a little bit on the bigger side. So if you're ready for something larger in your collection, as opposed to a bark or a sloop or something like that, this is definitely a step up and one of the more sizable, chunky boys that's out there. So this does come in a retail box, so you get the fancy box here and all that. But we're going to get this opened up, show you guys what is inside and what you can expect if you want to tackle this particular ship. So we'll be right back after we get everything open. Alrighty guys, we're back and we have everything open up for you. So we get our stat card, of course. And they actually show this on the back of the packaging too, which is kind of cool, so that way you kind of know what you're getting stat-wise if you didn't have the rulebook handy. But pretty good, again, plenty of guns, decent amount of swivels, and definitely can take a punch. Has some pretty cool special rules too, so we always get those on the back, and possible upgrades. Here you can go with fighting tops and heavily built, and/or heavily built. We got stern chasers on this one, no bow chasers. Pinked stern, which is a cool one. You don't really see that too often, at least on the ships that we have so far. But basically, you have a little bit of a bonus versus raking shots. Easy to handle is always cool. Whipstaff, and then a poop deck. So some chance to put some extra models towards that very top of the rear there. And then we have our speed stats and windward turn, all that stuff there. So there we go. And then we get our assembly guide. They always throw these together with multiple other ships like the Bark and so on, but here it is for our current project. I do hope there are enough dowel rods and stuff like that. A little worried. So there's 9 different ones here. The back of the packaging does mention 15, so hopefully they didn't short us. That would be most unfortunate. So we'll see how that shakes out once we jump into assembly. Last little bits and pieces. So again, we get our plenty of string here for rigging, the different cannon and swivel bits. This is all metal on these. Some of the cannons that just stick out, and then the 4 that you actually have the full carriage for, based on where they are in the deck. And then the rigging components, also a little bit worried here that it says frigate instead of this one. So hopefully, again, this will all match up. So let's move that out of the way, because what we're here for is to look at the big beast itself. So give you a kind of a top-down view on the deck. And then you have that a lot on the resin ones. You got to be super careful. You might want to wear a mask when you're opening these and getting them cleaned up. But on this one, there was particularly a lot. There's a ton of resin dust on this one, so you don't want to be breathing that stuff in. Yeah, there were just like literal clumps of it. You can kind of still see some of it. So we definitely have to give this a very solid bath just to get rid of that crap. But yeah, you don't want to breathe that stuff in, so be very careful when you're opening that. But again, one big resin piece here, so you can see the cannon ports. We're definitely got to do some cleanup. We've got to punch those out. More there. Let's kind of come around to the end for you guys. Again, the end does get pretty high up there, so hopefully that's kind of sticking in there. But we see our 2 stern chasers. The rudder's already there. Love the detail on this. Give you an idea. So again, this is pretty dang tall here towards the end, but again, one of the cool features of the ship. Coming around to the front, so you can kind of see that, and then the inside, just to give you an idea. But that is our big Fluyt. Super, super cool, and going to be excited to get this thing up and running. So sort of the start here of our project to get the three big boys built. So we have this, a 6th rate, which we think we still need to do a video for, and the Galleon, which we've previously done a video for. Kind of, I think, saving that one for last just because of, again, it being the biggest one and just really the most amount of work as far as assembly goes. But if you're looking, again, to get into some of the bigger ships out there and you don't quite want to drop the money on the Galleon, this is a good intermediate. It's definitely going to set you back a couple $100. You could go with the light frigate that we've shown previously too. I'm certainly happy with that, but that one still is very much a little bit of a lightweight compared to, again, the big boys out here. So something like this, maybe the 6 or 8. I can't remember if that one's that much more expensive. I know I think they're both in the $200 range. I think this was like maybe $220 or so. So if you're looking for something a little bit bigger, a little bit beefier for some of your naval games for Blood and Plunder, this is definitely a good ship to go with. A lot of good special rules, things like that. It is outgunned a little bit by like the 6th rate and the Galleon, of course, but just overall, just a lot of good combination of stats, and certainly will hold plenty of guys. And again, just a good all-rounder, and looks pretty cool too. Definitely different looking than everything else in the range so far. But let us know your thoughts on this ship, and just overall on games that you may have played with it or against it, and any thoughts in general on the kit. So hope you guys liked our little tour here. Like and subscribe if you could. Leave a comment. All those help the channel. Appreciate everybody who has been checking these out. And if you want to support us a little bit more, check out the Patreon that we've started. We'll have some here in the near future, some unique things for Blood and Plunder and other Firelog games that we haven't necessarily put on the channel here yet. So there'll be some interesting things there. So, but anyway, check that out. Link in the description, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.